Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as my friends at Yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we have a baby shawl. This is designed for mom, and this was using Bernat baby fingering, which is on the thinner side of yarn. As you'll know, it's a size D or 3.25 millimeter hook. On camera, I will be using an E 3.5. If you would like to substitute this yarn, you can do so. Just use the yarn ball and the ball label to tell you what size hook to use. This is a relatively easy pattern to be able to follow, and I have a crochet diagram that you'll be able to download as well. So let me show you that before we get started. This is a free downloadable crochet diagram that I did for you, and if you'd like to change the size of the shawl, especially if you're changing the size of hook, the stitch multiple is 8 chains plus 4, and so you can just add or subtract the number of multiples you need, and every time you start with this, you're going to get smaller and smaller. So you're starting off with the very neck area, and you'll be able to work your way across and then just get down to the point as you go. So every time you complete a cycle, you'll be getting less and less stitches. So we're going to be doing this today, and we're going to start off right away with your crochet hook, and let's begin. You can begin by just chaining 316, or you can do the multiple of 8 chains plus 4. So you just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Are you happy with the width? Yes or no? If not, just keep on going. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Decide yes or no. And when you're happy with the length of it, just add 4 more chain and you will have the balance of doing a stitch multiple, or just do 316. When you're ready for row number 1, you're going to go second chain from the hook. I'd recommend that you get the back hump of the chain. So just 1 and 2, back hump only, and you're going to single crochet yourself all the way across your chain. Okay, so please meet me at the end of the chain in just a moment. Your chain will obviously be longer, and when you're ready, you're going to turn. I'm going to do something in row number 2 that is not in the pattern, and that will be next. For consistency of one side versus the other, I'm going to have you do something different. If you want to follow the pattern, you can, but this is slightly different. So chain up 1, and I want you to do the first 3 stitches as a single crochet. In the pattern, it says to miss the first one and just do the next 2. I find it looks inconsistent on the other side when you do that. So just put 3 single crochets in a row. You're now going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and you're going to skip 2 single crochet and go to the third and do a V stitch. And this is a double crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and a double crochet into the same stitch. You're going to chain 3 again, so 1, 2, 3, and you're going to skip only 2 single crochet, and the next 3 will be single crochet each. So by doing the V stitch, you're creating the shell in the future. That will happen. Okay, so the shell will be sitting right in the V stitch. So now you're going to repeat that across. So you're going to chain 3, so 1, 2, 3, skip only 2, and V stitch into the third one. So that's a double crochet, chain 3, and double crochet all into the same stitch, chain 3, skip 2, and single crochet the next 3 in a row. So I need you to do this all the way across to the end of the chain, and I'll be right back in a moment, or to the end of the row, and I'll be right back in a moment. Coming up to the end of the row, got my last V stitch in. Don't forget to chain 3. And when you skip 2, you'll have 3 single crochet left, and it's going to be 1 into each of those 3. So I had you do the front of this row, like the beginning, in the same way so that it looks consistent on both sides of the shawl. Okay, so each one of the shells you created, or the V stitches you created, will create a shell in the future. So next time you're going to see 4 shells appear, and every time this cycles, there will be 1 less as we're continuing along. So we're now moving on to row number 3. Let's turn our work and let's start that. We use video chapters in our videos to be able to fast forward or go back in time, and everything is separated by the rows just in case you need to come back to any spot. Right where you are, I need you just to chain 4. This will count as 1 single crochet and a chain 3 space. So 1, 2, 3, 4. In the middle of the V stitch right here, you are going to place in 7 double crochet. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. After that it's done, you are going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and single crochet in the middle single crochet right here. And then you're going to repeat this across. So you'll chain 3 to start, so 1, 2, 3, and then put 7 double crochet into the V stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then after that, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then single crochet into the middle one of the single crochet that exists already in the row below. So please repeat this across. So chain 3, 7 double crochet into the V, chain 3, and then single crochet into the next, or to the middle one here. So I will see you at the end of the row in just a moment. Coming close to the end of the row, don't forget to chain 3 after 7 double crochets are in a V stitch, and just reach on over to the furthest single crochet away that's on the edge and single crochet in. Okay, so everything's looking pretty consistent at this point. And now you had your V stitches, now you got your shells, and now we're going to turn around and do row number 4. Let's begin row number 4. In row number 4, you're going to chain 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now the 7 double crochets that you have, each one will have 1 single crochet on top of it, so there's 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. If you're confident with your 7 double crochets, you won't need to count that, but that's up to you. So now you're going to chain 3, so 1, 2, 3, and you reach over to the next 7 double crochet and start the 7 single crochets again. So start in the first one. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then chain 3, and then reach over to the next 7 double crochet. So I'm put 7 single crochets in a row. Please do this across. I'll see you at the end in just a moment. Once you come across and you have your 7 single crochets on top of the doubles, you're not quite done. You have to double crochet into this one right down here, the single crochet. Okay, and that'll bring it together perfectly. So then you turn your work and let's do row number 5. Row number 5, chain 6 right where you're sitting. So just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you have 7 single crochets in a row. You're only going to use the middle 3. So skip the first 2 and single crochet the next 3 in a row. So it's always the middle of the fan. 3 singles. Then you are going to chain 3, and then we start with the new set of V stitches that will happen, and it'll go right into this chain 3 space. So just wrap around the space and double crochet, chain 3, and double crochet. And so you're creating the foundation for your next fans into the future. So the fans were sitting here, so next time they'll be coming in here, so you're forming your triangle shape, and this will happen on both sides. So chain 3, so 1, 2, 3, come to your middle 3 of your next fan. So you skip the first 2 and single crochet the next 3. So 1, 2, 3. So you chain 3, V-stitch into the chain 3 there. And then chain 3. And then the 3 middle are each a single crochet. So please do this across. I'll see you near the end of the row in just a moment. Coming close to the end, I'm putting my 3 singles on top of the fan here. Not quite done. So I need you to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. And see this chain work here? There was 6 chains. I need you to go to the 3rd chain up, and you're going to double crochet into that 3rd chain. Okay, and you'll turn your work, and we're going to start row number 6. Okay, row number 6, 7, and 8 is the repeat for the remaining of it until you end up finishing with your last shell, which will be the very point. And so you can kind of see it's starting to lean in a little bit, and we'll notice that as we continue. So row number 6, right where we're sitting is the wrong spot. We need to be into the middle one of the 3 single crochets right here. So we have to slip stitch ourselves across till we get there. So just yarn over, pull through. So just keep going into every stitch. And you go to the middle one before you'll start your new one there. So we're in the middle one, and you'll chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So now you're going to come into the middle of the V-stitch and place your 7 double crochet in. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So this is exactly what we did before when we did these. So then you'll chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and single into the middle single here. And then you're going to start that again. So chain 3, so 1, 2, 3, and come into the V-stitch and place 7 double crochet in. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then chain 3, and then single into the middle single here. Please go all the way across, and I'll show you how to finish this row in just a moment. To finish off this row, the 7 double crochets are in. You need to chain 3, and then single crochet into the middle one here. So if you looked at the other side, when we did a slip stitch, we got ourselves to the middle over here, so we need to finish on the middle on this side. So single crochet, and you'll turn your work, and you'll begin row number 7. Let's begin row number 7, which is the same as number 4. So we have we're going to chain a total of 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And right into the tops of these double crochets, there's 7 in a row. You'll notice that there's going to be these on the edge. If you look at the sample, you'll see that, and that's what this is creating. It's like a little loop. So 7 single crochets in a row on top of your doubles. And then after that shell is done, you're going to chain 3, and then reach over to your other group here and do another 7 single crochets, and you'll do this all the way across for row number 7. Okay, and then chain 3, and then jump to your next fan. So please do this all the way across, and you can see that we have one less fan because of what we've been doing in the repeat. Please go all the way across. I'll see you at the end of the row. Coming all the way across here on row number 7, you got your 7 single crochets in a row. You're not done. You need to chain 3, and then you are going to come back down to right here. So this is the middle one of the single crochet. You're going to come into the last one here, and you're just going to double crochet down into there, and that will create that loop that will look on the edge. So we're going to turn to work and do row number 8, which is the end of the repeat. Okay, right where you're sitting right now, you're just going to chain a total of 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then you were going to come into the middle 3 of these single crochets. So you skip the first 2 and single crochet the middle 3. We've done this before. You're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then a V-stitch around this chain 3. So double crochet, chain 3, and double crochet. So chain 3, and then come into the grouping of 7 here. You're using just the middle 3. So the middle 3 there. Single crochet those, and you'll be repeating that all the way across, just like you had been before. So chain 3, V-stitch, chain 3, and then use the 3 middle, and etc. And I'll show you what it looks like at the end of this row. So I'm coming near to the end. I'm on the top of the fan. Okay, so I got my 3 single crochets in there. I need to chain 3, and then right where these guys are coming out of, okay, it's the third, there's the, see these guys, there's a chain 6. You're going to go to the 3rd chain up, and you're going to double crochet there. So essentially you're going to have these little bumps that are coming out of the sides. So now what you're going to do is repeat rows number 6, 7, and 8, and you keep going and going and going, and the last row you just need to repeat number 6 once more, which will be the shell work, which will give you the consistency of the edge. So you just have to keep repeating, and you'll notice that you'll be eliminating out fans and getting yourself to a point. I'll be right back in a few moments. So now I just finished the point, which is the ending of the number 6. So we now have to worry about doing the lower edging. When I say worry, it's not a big deal at all. And so the best way to do it is see this row right here, shell. I should be looking at the wrong side of that, which I am. Okay, so this is the right side, this is the wrong side. Can you see the difference? And if not, on row number 2, if you would have marked that with the right side stitch marker, you'll be able to identify that so that you can see it. But as an experienced crocheter, you'll be able to see that. You will notice that these shells, it's wrong side I can see, right side, wrong side, right side. And it's a really easy way to be able to identify that if you can. So let's turn the whole project upside down like this. And we're going to start on this edge and work our way across. To start the lower edge, start some fresh yarn and start right on the end, and you're going to join it with a slip stitch. Chain 1 and single crochet into each one of the chains going all the way across. Because I had you do the back loop only, this side here, it looks like a real stitch. Okay, so just single crochet yourself across for the first row of the lower edging, and I'll be right back. I've come all the way across the other side. Turn your work, and we're going to begin rows number 2 and 3. Rows number 2 and 3 is the same as rows number 2 and 3 in the pattern itself. So right where you're sitting, you're going to chain 1, and you'll put 3 single crochet in a row. And this is my improvisation, if you recall. And now, once the 3 are in, chain 3, and skip 2 and V-stitch in the next. You remember doing that before? Okay, so chain 3, skip 2, and put 3 single crochet in a row. And I need you to repeat that all the way across for the second row, and I'll be back in just a moment. So my last V-stitch is in, chain 3, and then just use the last 3 as a single crochet. Okay, and now we're going to turn your work and do your last row. The last row, right where you're sitting, is going to count as a single crochet and a chain 3 space, so just chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. In the V-stitch, you'll place your 7 double crochet. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then chain a total of 3. So 1, 2, 3, single into the middle single, chain 3, and then reach on over to the next V-stitch and put 7 double crochet in. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So then chain 3, single to the middle, chain 3, and keep on doing that across. I'll see you at the end of the row in a moment. At the end of the row, don't forget to chain 3, and then single crochet into your very last single crochet. And then this is where the story ends. This is where you fasten off, and then you just weave in your ends, and so you'll have your nice triangle shape. This will be wrapped around your neck, and this is a really cool historical pattern by Yarnspirations.com.